Good morning, girls. Today we're going to continue the lesson we started with yesterday, which is more about linear equations. Okay, so yesterday, let's have like a quick summary. Yesterday we had two forms. We knew how to write in two forms for the line equation. We had the point slope form and we had the standard line equation. So now we're going to have a new idea here, which is graphing an equation using the intercepts. So we're going to have this. What are the we're going to have this equation here. We have this is the standard line equation. From it, we're going to find what are the intercepts and then graph the equation. Okay, let's solve it together. Okay, so here we have to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Then we're going to graph them. Okay, so girls, do you remember what does x-intercept means? X-intercept is the value of x when y equals 0, and y-intercept means we have 0x and there's a value for y. Do you remember this? So now for finding, oh, this is supposed to be a straight line. Okay, so for finding this, we have to substitute, for finding x, we have to substitute y as 0, and to find y-intercept, we have to substitute x as 0. Okay, so let's now start finding the x-intercept by substituting 0 and y, so it's going to be as 3x plus 5 times 0 equals 15. So it's going to be as 5 times 0 is 0, so it's going to be 3x equals 15. So it means x equals 15 divided by 3, which is equal to 5. So the x-intercept here is 5, 0. Now we got the first point here. Now let's see the y-intercept. We have to substitute x as 0. So it's going to be as 3 multiplied by 0 plus 5y equals 15. So this will go as 0. It's going to be 5y equals 15. Then we're going to divide everything by 5s to find y, which is 15 divided by 5 equals 3. So my y-intercept is going to be as 0, 3. So now we have 2 points. When we have 2 points, we can easily graph them. So let's graph as 5, 0. It's going to be 0, and here's 5. This is the first point we have. And as 0, oh sorry, it's going to be as 5, 0. It's going to be over here. Here's the 5, 0. 5, 0 over here. And 0, 3 is going to be over here. So now we have 2 points, so it means we can easily make a line between them. It's going to be as this line. This is how to graph using the linear equation, the standard linear equation that we have. Let's check our answers. So again here, to find the y-intercept, they substituted everything, the x by 0 I mean. Then they found y equals 3. It means the y-intercept is going to be as 0, 3. And then they substituted 0 to find the x-intercept. So we're going to have the x as equals 5, which is 5, 0 as we got. There's supposed to be a 0 here. Okay. This is a 0, girls. Okay. And then they plotted them on the graph as 5, 0 and 0, 3. Then they made a line through these 2 points. Okay, so let's go for the second example we have, which is the same thing. We're gonna find the intercepts, then from the equation here, then we're gonna graph them. Okay, let's solve this together. Okay, so again we're going to find the x-intercept first, then we're going to find the y-intercept. Okay, let's now start finding what's wrong here. I want this side. Okay. So it's gonna be as when we find the x-intercept, it means we're gonna substitute y as 0, so it's going to be 2x minus, this is going to be 0 equals 8. X equals 8 divided by 2, which is equal to 4. So it's going to be as 4, 0. This is the first point we have. Now we're going to find the y-intercept. It means we're going to substitute x as 0. So it's going to be as 0 minus 4y equals 8. Y equals 8 divided by negative 4, which is negative 2. It means the y-intercept is going to be as 0, negative 2. Now we're just going to plug them here. So it's going to be 4, 0, 4, 0. So it's going to be over here, the first point. It's going to be here, the second point, 0, negative 2, which is over here. Here's the second point. And then we're going to draw a line that passes through these 2 points, which is this line. Okay, let's check our answers together. So they found y as negative 2, that's right. We got like 0, negative 2. And then they found x as 4, that's right, as 4, 0. Then they just plot these two numbers. It's going to be 0, negative 2, which is over here. The point is going to be over here. And 4, 0, the point is going to be over here. So they just plot them and then drew a line through them. That's right. That's as we got. Okay. Here we're done with like graphing, finding the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Then we're going to graph. So we're going to have a new idea here, which is the parallel and perpendicular lines. So you know what does parallel mean and what does perpendicular mean, right? The parallel lines that are lines, the same lines, but they have the same distance and the same direction. Okay, they have like a distance between them, but they have the same direction. Okay, so the slopes of parallel lines are equal. The slope of this line is equal to the slope of this line, obviously. So the slope m1 equals m2. But the y-intercept b1 is not equal to the y-intercept b2 because it differs. The y-intercept here differs from here. Okay, so this is for the parallel lines. For the perpendicular lines, the slopes of perpendicular lines are negative reciprocal of each other. So again, the perpendicular lines that intersect each other in the right angle, okay? So when we have two perpendicular lines, their slope is the negative reciprocal of each other. So for example, m1 here, the slope of m2 is 1 over negative m1. This is going to be m2. Okay, so these are the two parallel and perpendicular line concepts, or the slope concepts of them. Let's now have some examples here. Writing equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. What is the equation in slope-intercept form? Do you remember what is the slope-intercept form, girls? Which is y equals mx plus b. This is the slope-intercept form. Of the what is the equation in the slope-intercept form of the line parallel to y equals 6x minus 2 through 1 negative 3? Okay, let's solve this together then. Okay, so here they gave us this equation, and they want us to find the parallel line for it in the slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. But here they gave us, for example, here what's the slope for the parallel line? We said it's going to be the same slope. So m for the parallel line equals 6. So they already gave us the slope and they gave us the point here. So what can we do with these two given? We're going to plot these two numbers, okay, or these two givens into the point slope equation first. Then we're going to convert it into the slope intercept form. Okay, let's see how. Now remember the point intercept form, which is point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. Okay, we're going to plot these inside this equation. Then we're going to change it into the slope-intercept form. So let's now just substitute here. It's going to be y minus y1 here is -3, so it's going to be plus 3 equals m. They already gave us m as 6. X minus x1 here is 1. Now we have to convert it, so we're going to move everything away from y in the form of y equals mx plus b. So y plus 3, we're going to first of all distribute the 6 here and here. It's going to be as 6x minus 1. Then we're going to move the 3 over there, which is going to be 6x minus 1 minus 3. Y equals 6x minus 4. This is in the form of y equals mx plus b. Again, why did we, first of all, we solved it as the point slope? Because they gave us a point and they gave us the slope. So we can substitute into this equation, then we can easily convert it into the y equals mx plus b form. Okay, let's check our answer. Okay, so first of all, we found that the slope equals 6, and then y minus y1, we did it to use the point slope form. We substituted 1 and -3. So it's going to be like -1 here, and y minus y, okay, so it's going to be y plus 3 equals 6x minus 6. Oh, I did something wrong here. When I distributed here, I made it as 6x minus 1, so it's going to be like 6x minus 6. Then we're going to move the -3 over there. It's going to be -6, -3, which is -9. This is the final answer, girls. I only did this thing wrong here. Instead of 6, I wrote 1. So this is the final answer that we got. Okay, let's go to the second example we have. What is the equation in slope-intercept form of the line perpendicular to this equation? Okay, so they gave us this equation and they gave us a point. And it has a line. We want to find the equation of the perpendicular line to it in the slope-intercept form. Okay, let's solve this now. Okay, so here they gave us this equation. They want the parallel of the perpendicular line to it, not the parallel. So from this equation, we said we can find, first of all, the slope. So the slope for the perpendicular equals the slope for the perpendicular, let's say P, equals 1, the reciprocal of, negative reciprocal of the slope here, negative m, that we have here, that's given. That's CG as given. Okay, so it's going to be the slope for the perpendicular line. Here's the slope for the perpendicular line equals 1 over negative, so it's going to be positive 4. So this is the slope. Now we got the slope and we have a point, so again we're going to solve it in the point slope form. Then we're going to convert it into the slope intercept form. So it's going to be as y minus y1, which is 5, equals the slope 1 over 4, x minus x1 is 8. Now we're going to distribute this over here and over here. So it's going to be as y minus 5 equals x over 4. 8 divided by 4 is going to be as -2. We're going to move this over there. Y equals 1 over 4, or x over 4, minus 2 plus 5, which is plus 3. This is the final equation that we have in the slope-intercept form. Let's check our answer. Okay, so first of all, as we said, it's going to be the negative reciprocal. The slope of the perpendicular line is going to be the negative reciprocal of it. Then we're going to substitute the point that we have here and the slope into the point slope form equation. It's going to be like 5 over here and 8. Then we're going to distribute this over here and over here. It's going to be 1 over 4x minus 2. Then we're going to move the 5 over there, which is going to give me an answer of 3. So the final answer in the slope intercept form is y equals 1 over 4x plus 3. Okay, so now let's go for the last example that we have here. again, we're gonna find what is the equation of the line parallel to this equation. Okay, so they gave us this equation and we're gonna find the line parallel to it. Okay, let's solve it now. Okay, so here they gave us this form, not the slope intercept form. They gave us this form, so we have to find the slope from this equation. So again, we're going to move the 4 over there, so it's going to be as y equals mx. We're going to write as y equals mx plus b, so we can easily find m. So we're going to move the 4 over there. It's going to be 2y equals negative 4x plus 7. Then we're going to divide everything by 2. It's going to be y equals negative 4 over 2, I mean, which is equal to negative 2x plus 7 over 2. So it means we can find the slope from here. So the slope equals m equals negative 2. And now we have the point here, so we're going to write it as the point slope form. It's going to be as y minus y1, which is negative 2. It's going to be plus 2 then, equals the slope m x minus x1. x1 here is 4. Then we're going to simplify it to find the answer in the slope intercept form. We're going to distribute over here, and over here is going to be as negative 2x plus 8. We're going to move the 2 over there. Y equals negative 2x plus 8 minus 2. So the final answer is going to be as y equals negative 2x plus 6. Let's check our answer together. Okay, so they found x using this way. That's right, so x equals negative 2 as we got. Then they substituted the answer here. Over here they distributed them. Then they moved the 2 over there, so it's going to be negative 2x plus 6 as we got. That's right. So girls, up to here we're done with this lesson. Yes, we're done with this lesson, and have a nice day.